Welcome back to the Buds in the Box podcast. Before we get started, the giveaway details will be in the description below, so make sure you check them out. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment which jersey and player you want. Leafs win 6-5 against the Ottawa Senators in a messy one and a roller coaster of emotions with a Matthews hat trick and the first time Jack Campbell ever let in more than one goal in a period. Crazy stat, by the way. The game starts off. Leafs get off to a slow start, and you kind of knew from the start it was going to be a weird one. I mean, when the Leafs start off slow against Ottawa, that's never a good sign. But the Leafs just couldn't seem to get the puck out of their zone in the first 10 minutes. They're playing pretty bad until the Godfather Matthews scores 9 minutes in from Marner. And interesting thing today, the lineup was changed because of Nylander's absence. Gallagher. I always say that. Galchenyuk, Matthews, and Marner were the starting line. And then Tavares, Mikheyev, and Hyman were a line. So very interesting line combinations there. 30 seconds later, Matthews again from Marner and Riley. I mean, what a play by Galchenyuk. Got it right this time. And my jaw was just dropped. I mean, these guys were completely rolling, and it looked like a completely different line. What do you guys think about those two goals to start off the game by Matthews?
Yeah, that was. I mean, I hate to say it, but there's not really a Matthews without Marner. I'm sure he'd still have a ton of goals because he's just an amazing goal scorer. But Marner really just makes that difference for him. Matthews did score same amount of goals with Nylander on his line a couple of years ago, but Marner, he just sets him up like it's like perfect passes. It's not like they've got some sort of connection that he just knows he's there. And there's not many guys in the league, I say this a lot, but other than McDavid and Kane that can put the puck, McDavid, Kane, and Marner who can put the puck right on someone's stick. So that's how I perceived Matthews' two first goals was just Marner knowing exactly where his stick was and Matthews being in the right place, and that Matthews shot his back. So
yeah, no doubt about it. Like Matthews, as Felly said, he's an elite goal scorer, but always when you hear Marner to Matthews, it's almost a for sure goal or it's a great play. Any time in any game, when you hear Marner's name, like Felly said, it's a great play, it's a great pass, and it probably ends with Matthews. A great play.
Yeah, interesting thing I noticed this game. I mean, it seemed like Galchenyuk, Marner, and Matthews had just natural chemistry, but now that I rethink about it and just look back on that line, you can put Matthews and Marner with anyone, and they're gonna make that third line mate look good. So
yeah, well,
for sure.
you can go back to Thornton. Exactly. They started the year with Thornton. They made him look like a god, and then he's back on the
games.
20, I think.
20, sorry, yeah.
He's back on the third line, and he's not doing anything, right? So, but yeah, that is the case in a lot of scenarios. I mean, you could put me on a line with Matthews and Marner, put me on the left wing. I guarantee Matthews and Marner would still get, do the same thing, close to the same thing. But Galchenyuk is a really, really, really hard worker. Like he works just as hard as Hyman, Hyman definitely works, really, really hard, but Galchenyuk works really hard too, and he gets to corners and he hits guys, and he essentially does what Hyman does, just in a different way. He's a little more skilled than Hyman is. But yeah, honestly, Galchenyuk and Hyman are kind of both of them look good to me right now. Like they kind of look like they're playing similar styles.
Yeah, I mean, those two goals caused momentum swing for the Leafs for sure, and the Leafs just kept putting on the pressure to end the first period. They really turned that game around. But the second period comes around. Good high pace, back and forth game. Leafs creating good chances, defending well. And I think as I was writing this, I said both lines seem to have natural chemistry, and the top six was looking good because this was actually an experiment by Keefe. he wanted to see what would happen if, you move Galchenyuk up to the first line and Hyman down to the second line. And it's a tough decision now because they both performed well. I mean, they each had like what? Matthews and Marner had like 4 goals for their line, and Tavares and Hyman had 2 goals. So it's a tough decision there. But Justin Hall actually turned the puck over 12 minutes in, and Campbell didn't have a chance on that one. I think it was Stützle's shot that hit the post, and then it was just a wide open net for whoever scored that goal. Not a good look for the Leafs. 2 minutes later, Ottawa scores a shorthanded goal, breakaway by some nobody on the Senators, and just a poor play by Marner on the power play. Another 2 minutes later.
And Riley. Bad play by
Riley. Exactly. Another 2 minutes later, just like that, the Leafs give up a 3-goal lead. And there goes Campbell's record of not letting in more than 1 goal in a period. What do you guys think about those 3 goals?
I can start it off. So I guess we'll start off with the first one. I mean, we left Stützle out in the slot. Like Ottawa fans think he's a prodigy. So he's obviously a great player. We've seen what he can do in the World Juniors. We've seen what he did against Campbell in his first ever goal. So clearly he somehow has Campbell's number, I guess. But he hits the post there, and then it was just a little bit of a dunk. Not much you can do there. That I guess Campbell could make that save. And then the Formanton, I don't know. Foreman literally looked like McDavid. Like he just blew past everyone on the ice. That was unbelievable. Like
Marner stumbled though.
Yeah, but he made Riley and Marner look like the slowest players in the league. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, you said he stumbled. So, and I don't know. Campbell knew he should have had that one. The way he just kind of looked to the ceiling, bounced off his legs a couple times. I know those goals. So, and then with the what was the third one? Was it
the third one? Was Stützle's goal.
The Stützle one. I mean, it went right through whoever was on the left wing on us, right through their legs. And I mean, Campbell knew he should have had that one too. That just tonight wasn't his night, but
he's had every other night. So
yeah.
Felly, any thoughts?
I mean, you can't let in 3 goals like that back to back to back. With a 2-0 lead, that sucks. Like you just can't do that. Especially when you have a power play and you're up 2-1. That's just that guy did look like Connor McDavid there for some reason. It was so weird. Like that guy pulls away from Riley and Marner, who are 2 of the fastest players in the league, literally.
Yeah.
And that guy just zoomed right by them. It didn't look like he had too much space, and then he just gained a lot of space, which was weird. But I guess Marner stumbled or whatever. But that goal, and then Campbell was screened on the third one there. But Campbell he didn't have a good game. I mean, that's bound to happen. Can't play 11 straight games and be like flawless, So he was not flawless this game. That's for sure. But as long as he doesn't let it get to his head at all, like I just think you can't let in 5 goals against the Ottawa Senators and expect to win.
Yeah.
Because you look back at that, if Matthews and Marner didn't have a good game, they lost that game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just like the game that Freddie played in.
Yeah. And like I said at the start of the video, the roller coaster of emotions. I mean, as Leafs fans, we were distraught. I was pissed. I threw something across the room. I know, Jude, you screamed "fuck" at your television.
Well, I mean, I would never say that word to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, okay, my bad.
Secondly, it was when we scored to tie it 3-3.
Oh, gotcha.
That's when I at that point I just had it out for Stützle, and I'm pretty sure he was on the ice for it. And Marcelli had so much emotion in it. Oops, my bad. It had so much emotion, so I felt what the Leafs felt.
Yeah, I mean, you're losing to the Ottawa Senators 3-2, and then a minute later, in a scramble in front, Marner tucks it in, and the game's tied. Not even 2 minutes later, Marner again battling out there. Galchenyuk, great forecheck. Marner is really patient with the puck, shoots it in front or passes it in front right to Matthews, tape to tape, and Matthews just rips that. He's going to score that all day. And the Leafs are back in the lead in a wild one. They are winning 4-3. And that would end the period there. I mean, a crazy, crazy period. And as much as it shouldn't happen, it did.
Yeah,
So-
sorry, Eric, your Wi-Fi cut out a little bit.
Oh, did it?
Well, just a little at one point. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
you're
sure
on
it'll
that
be fine.
McDonald's Wi-Fi because you're there so often.
I'm sure it'll be fine on the video. Anyway,
Yeah.
third period, the Leafs continue to create great offensive chances. The momentum swing is back in their favor, and Mikheyev scores his was it 8th goal or 6th goal of the season?
6.
6. Got you.
He should have 25 right now, but
Yeah, based off his shorthanded chances.
Yeah.
But Mikheyev scores from Tavares and Hyman, so that line started to get going. Great neutral zone play. Dermott made an amazing play in the neutral zone, and they turned it into an offensive chance.
Tavares wasn't awarded the assist.
Sorry, who?
Tavares was not awarded the assist.
Really? It tipped off his skate though.
I know.
I'm sure they'll put it in.
Yeah, but on the scoreboard it just said from Hyman.
Oh, okay, yeah, but they put it in after. But then again, sloppy play by the Leafs. With 8 minutes into the period, Muzzin just was kind of out of sorts, couldn't cover Connor Brown, and Connor Brown just got an easy pass from Dadonov backdoor. This was. Oh, he didn't get. They'll put it in later.
All right.
They'll put it in later.
I don't think it was on his. He didn't have momentum and possession of the puck, so they aren't.
Oh, okay.
Dead puck.
Got it. Anyways,
Sorry.
just like that, game is 5-4, and fortunately for the Leafs, they played well defensively in the rest of the game. Felly disagreed with me on this, but I felt like Campbell had some really good saves near the end that really kept them in the game. That could have easily been scored on.
Well,
if another goalie was in that.
I didn't fully disagree with you there. He definitely had some big saves, but I always say, I think I know I've said it on here before and you guys have agreed, but it's that one big save to win a game. Usually every game that a team wins, there's at least one save where you're like, wow, that should have went in and it didn't. You know, and 5 goals against means he didn't make that big save. He did make some good saves, but so did the other goalie. The other goalie didn't make a huge save either, but that's kind of where I was coming from, like making that game changing, like momentum swinging save. He didn't do that this game, and he has, the last 10 games, so whatever. But that's just something that I noticed this game. He didn't, he didn't make a crazy save, but he stayed in there. So, but 5 goals is never something you want to see from a goalie, but it's bound to happen sometimes. So
just to cut in before Jude talks,
Go ahead.
I think this was probably the first game that Jack Campbell played where he was outplayed by the other team's goalie. Like Forsberg made some of those saves. I mean, there was one on Thornton that was unbelievable. Even though Forsberg didn't really have a good game, they both had the same goals against, and Toronto had more shots. So statistically, he was outplayed. You can go ahead now, Jude.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, like we've always discussed, is like he's still a human, right? I thought this game was bound to happen way earlier. So thank whatever that it was now, and luckily Matthews pots 3 for us. But aside from that, I don't know. Like that form, I just personally thought in terms of defensive, either team was not there. Aside the second period, that's when the offense starts like slowing down for them. Actually, no. I mean, in terms of defensive, it was a little bit more aggressive, but for some reason in that third period, everyone was just passive. Like that's what I found. I just believe that everyone there, like, okay, so take in the Formenton when Formenton came down in the third period and Campbell had to take that one-timer save. Who was covering Formenton? That was like a 3-on-1 right there, and then I think it was like Hall who took someone else, and then when they had the empty net, Batherson like threw that one and it like tipped off his toe. I thought that went out. I pooped a little there.
Yeah, that was a good save by Jack Campbell.
Yeah, but I mean, like Felly said, there was those big saves, but I mean, not every goalie has a chance to make that huge save. So you can't really like as much as I agree with you. He's made those opportunities, but most of the goals he let in were not big save worthy goals. You know what I mean, Felly? Like there was like 4 out of 5 were just like, oh, like that. Aside from the Hyman goal, I'd say that was the final goal where it was a 4-on-1.
Connor Brown.
Yeah. No. Was that Connor Brown the final goal?
No.
Oh no. The final goal, I don't know who it was, but it was right in front of the net.
Yeah.
He could have saved that.
It was Josh Norris.
I mean, I'm just thinking like, the breakaway.
Yeah.
The shorthanded breakaway goal. Should have had that, whatever that he didn't.
Yeah, that's the 1 out of 5.
The Connor Brown back door, I think he could have made his way across, but he didn't. So whatever, like it's not a big deal. I'm just saying that these are saves that he could make if they were like, he's got a low percentage chance of making them.
Yeah.
But they would be like big-ish saves.
That's like the backdoor one was like that was just a textbook play that a goalie should get a stick on it because you are not getting back there. That is like 2-3 feet, and that's Connor Brown's on the red line, on the goal line practically, but the stick of a goal.
I think he had trust in Muzzin on that Connor Brown goal to take the guy's stick. Yeah, he should never have got a stick on it. Connor Brown should have never got a stick on it because Muzzin was standing right with him.
Well, that's the goalie's shot, right? Whoever walked out there, that's the goalie's job. So. And
then I guess the Stutzla goal, he was screened, was he?
Yeah, but that's still his.
So whatever.
The way he looks.
I mean, I guess you could say that about every single goal ever. Yeah. Oh, the goalie should have had that, whatever. But they're just not. So.
Yeah. I mean, we can probably argue about that all day, but it's not going to get us anywhere.
I mean, I don't think.
No, I think. Trust me, I love Campbell, obviously. I obviously love Campbell.
He had one bad game. I feel like there's going to be an overreaction. Yeah. That's what I feel against Leafs fans. Like, everyone's going to say, oh, now his true colors are showing.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I mean, he pulled out the win. He did have a bad game, but, everyone has bad games.
Like Jude always says, he's human. He's gonna have a bad game.
Carey Price is having the bad past 3 years. So
Connor McDavid had 3 back-to-back games where he didn't do anything.
Vasilevsky just let in 7 goals.
Yeah, Vasilevsky just let in 7 goals. So everyone's gonna have a bad game once in a while. The best player in the world, Connor McDavid, has just 3 bad games in a row.
It's us.
Yeah. We're just lucky that Campbell had it against the Senators and we still got the win. Right.
Exactly.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Right.
Sure. If that game's against Winnipeg or something, we're more likely to lose. But I'm more okay with losing to Winnipeg than I am with Ottawa because it's just so embarrassing to lose to Ottawa. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
You've done it, what, twice?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. No offense if you're an Ottawa fan or anything, but it sucks because it's hard to see your team that's so much more skilled and so much more powerful than another team lose to that other team.
Well,
but if you are the underdog, it feels really good to win. So
Eric, I'm gonna intervene. You can get to Well, we've been in that position. We've been the underdog.
Yeah.
Auston Matthews and
been on terrible teams.
Yeah, and B, Craig Simpson. I listened to how Felly says it. The announcers. The biggest thing that stuck out to me was. They go when there's 2 minutes left in the game. Simpson goes, or one of them goes, whoever the other guy is. He goes, there's 2 minutes left for Ottawa to retake this game or something like that. No, there's 2 minutes left in the game.
And he's the worst, man. I hate that guy.
And then every penalty. Okay, so when Stutzla scored that goal, he went cuckoo. He was going nuts. He was like, Stutzla, how do you have that seam? Oh my god! And then Auston Matthews gets his hat trick. He's like. Auston Matthews with his 3rd goal of the game, and that's it.
I told you guys, so they are Leaf haters, both those guys. Chris Cuthbert and Craig Simpson.
Yeah.
Craig Simpson more so. They
Yeah.
hate the Leafs. They just do. I don't know why they're calling every single game other than the TSN ones.
Wait, so is Craig Simpson the play-by-play?
Craig Simpson, no. Craig Simpson does Ray Ferraro's job.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, but I told you guys that story. He literally declined going first overall because he didn't want to go to the Leafs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's just how do you let that guy call their games? Like it's so weird.
I way prefer Gordon Miller and Ferraro.
Oh yeah, Gordon
Yeah.
Miller and Ferraro. Those guys are good. I wish they put Joe Bowen back on TV because he's on the radio. But you know
I thought
Joe
that
Bowen,
guy was so hype.
Holy Mackinac.
Yeah.
You know
That guy's so notorious.
they put him on the radio. He never gets a TV game anymore, so it sucks. But
Yeah.
I love that guy. That guy should be
Yeah,
back.
he's good.
Yeah.
Some late. Oh, actually, wait. I was gonna say something.
Yeah.
I talked to like some Sens fans, and they are not upset whatsoever. They're taking every win as like a huge opportunity because, from the perspective of a Sens fan, and I understand, they have a really, really bad team, and their team is going out there every night and trying their best. Like this game, they should come nowhere near the Leafs, but because all their
No.
players work hard and shit, you know, they have a chance, and they could have easily won that game.
Honestly,
so for them, they have a huge future ahead, and they're not mad at all.
No. What if I was a Suns fan? I'd probably like I low key not want to win too much because I want a higher pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Because you know that's how they're going to be better in the future. But I've heard some things about Shane Pinto, how he's coming up in their system. He's played college this year. He's okay right now.
Yeah.
And then what's his name on North Dakota, the defenseman Sanderson. Right? And then Stutzel, you can just tell he's going to be good.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be above average, you know, like he's going to have some value in the future. And yeah, like they're not going to be the worst. Like that's not how the NHL works. You're not going to be the worst team for 10 years in a row, you know,
Unless
you're
you're
going
the
to be
Buffalo
a bad.
Sabres.
Yeah, but Buffalo wasn't even that bad. They have had good years in
Yeah.
not too long ago, but you know that's not how it works. You know you have 2, 3, 4 bad years, and then you can probably get back to it. But yeah, and that's how the Senators are just in the middle of the rebuild, and that's okay, right? But Leafs were right there in 2015, 14.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and just before we wrap up, some late shenanigans. Mikheyev to Tavares to Hyman, pretty easy empty net goal. You think it's over there. Joe Thornton gets a hooking or holding penalty, which is a complete joke. I mean, barely touched them, but whatever. They score. That should never be a goal. Leafs were just, I mean, they didn't really care at that point, I'm guessing. But Hyman made a really bad play, thought he had the puck, just left like 3 guys open in front of the net.
No. So, whoever the center was there, I think it was Spezza. Made the bad play. Hole and Muzzin went straight into the corner.
Yeah, both of them.
To play the 4-1.
But also about the empty netter, that was a pretty selfless play by Tavares too, because he easily could have walked in and shot it into the empty net, but passed it off.
Good. Give Eric the fantasy points.
Good guy, captain. Tavares. So.
Oh yeah,
Johnny.
I forgot about that. I have Hyman and you have Tavares.
Yeah, so Tavares could have walked in and sniped it, but gave it off to Hyman. Whatever. I that was a nice play, selfless play. I just wanted to, give him that props a little bit because the stuff like that goes unnoticed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's a nice thing to do for a teammate who works really hard, right?
Exactly, and at the end of the year, the Islanders fans are going to say, "Oh, look at his points! Oh, look at his goals!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, the Islander fans are just so salty.
How nice would an Islander and Leafs Stanley Cup final or conference final be?
Oh.
Yeah, and the Leafs just crushing them. That would be awesome.
That's a defensive team versus an offensive.
It's true. That's an interesting. That's not a great matchup, honestly, though. For usually when an offensive team plays a defensive team, the defensive team gets a bounce or two, and the offensive team gets shut down. You know.
Tampa last year.
Yeah. So that's how it goes sometimes, but we will wait and see. Hopefully the Leafs go past I don't want to say anything here, but hopefully the Leafs go decently far in the playoffs this year. And also, guys, Leafs don't play till Monday night, but trade deadline is 3:00 on Monday. So if the Leafs make a trade, we'll be uploading on Monday, right, Eric?
For sure, yeah.
And then we're also going to do a game review after the game on Monday night.
Yeah.
And that'll come out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And yeah, just one more thing. Jack Campbell gets his 11-0 record.
Yeah. And Matthews gets a hat trick.
Yeah, Matthews gets a hat trick. And Campbell now owns the lone spot on top of Carey Price for the best start to a season for a goalie in NHL history. Amazing stuff.
Consecutive wins.
Yeah, consecutive. And also, we are dropping merch tonight. Should have been dropped already. If you made it this far, make sure you guys click the link in the description and it will take you right to our merch shop.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff there. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I guess we'll wrap it up if you guys have no further comments.
No, that was a interesting game.
Yeah, very, very emotional. Up and down, but
yeah, that was an emotional roller coaster.
yeah, that'll do it though. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Buds in the Box, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.